Greetings, Marines! If you're still here watching content related to Fireteam Elite, this video is for you, the loyalists. FiOth here once again, and this time I just wanted to say thank you to all the people who followed my content on this better than expected third-person shooter based on the Aliens universe. Tonight, on the 5th of February 2024, we will be running our last stream for Fireteam Elite, at least for the foreseeable future. This channel has had an excellent run when it comes to Cold Iron's latest game. And although I have been extremely vocal when it comes to how the game ended up being, and the fact that the consumer base has been somewhat neglected and disrespected, it cannot be argued that a lot of people had a lot of fun with this game, and for a budget title, for most of the peeps who loved it, it produced more hours of entertainment than many other AAA €7 games out there. We have been waiting for the longest time to hear anything from the developers, anything at all, just the slightest peep that something was happening, that they are still working on the game to some capacity, at least fixing the game to some capacity, or any news on a sequel. We've waited and waited and nothing was ever heard. The latest attempts to quote-unquote future-proof the game have been kind of a disaster, with the game's most prominent flaws still on full display. Disappearing enemies, crashes, disconnects, frame rates, the whole suit. So, what is the alternative in this day and age for people who love horde shooters like this and also enjoy a classic IP spin on interplanetary conflict and juicy bag organisms? Well, the answer comes from Arrowhead, and its name is Helldivers 2. This game, launching on the 8th of February, is the sequel to the much beloved Helldivers game from the previous generation. That was a top-down twin-stick shooter. Now we're going full third-person, just like Fireteam Elite, and the game is looking to provide frantic third-person shooting action against robots and bugs, crossplay over PlayStation and PC. Sorry Xbox crowd, but it's not coming out for Xbox yet, and since it's published by Sony, I don't think it ever will, as well as cross-save in case you want to jump from one ecosystem to the other and vice versa. 4 players can cooperate in this, and if you know anything about my channel or Fireteam Elite in general, you know there's been a ton of discussion when it comes to the 3-people fireteam. I've had countless messages asking me, FiOth, why don't we have the option to get 4 people in or 5 people in? And the answer to those people has always been, how the hell should I know? I'm not a dev, dude, that's the game they made. Here, however, we're hitting the sweet spot of 4, and in today's cultural situation, I don't think that the easiest thing on the planet is to get 4 people to play a video game at the same time. Granted, they live as hectic a life as the average Joe. The game's looking promising, guys. First and foremost, it has been verified that everything will be earnable in-game except for specific cosmetics. There's bound to be some grind, but it will not affect how effective you are, so it's not pay to win. Furthermore, they've clarified that their deluxe edition only provides specific cosmetics, as does the pre-order bonus. No one is getting punished for not blindly trusting that they made a good game. Furthermore, it's kind of a budget title, €40 or dollars or 35 British pounds. So they're not asking for an arm and a leg. That was the same story with Fireteam Elite, by the way. It was a AA production that some people expected to be an evergreen live service game. It was never meant to be that. And Helldivers 2, granted, veers more towards that aspect. We're not 100% sure yet. But with any luck, we can at least expect a couple of years of support. If we've been taught anything from recent releases, is that the developers and publishers who you would not expect to stick around for longer, like let's say the developer from Dying Light 2 that has been supporting the game for a couple of years now, and they intend to do so for another 3. And not to mention their previous creation has had support from years after its release. It's the odd dogs that usually bring in the respect towards the consumer that we like to see, but for some unspecified reason, people still keep paying the biggest assholes to provide them with half-baked shite. So we've been seeing the trailers, they look quite amazing. We know that the game is very focused on players killing their teammates, creating insane shenanigans. That was the MO of the first title as well. And we're promised long-term support and, as I said, very transparent functionality when it comes to who can play with whom, which is pretty much everyone who gets their hands on the game, granted the current access to both the PC and PlayStation ecosystems. I made a video yesterday, you can see it right here, and I will also post it at the end of this one, where I break down everything we know so far without babbling too much about the obvious stuff, and a look around the internet from the past 24 hours can provide you with all the information you need if I happened to miss anything. So, it is the 5th of February 2024. Tonight we will be bidding farewell to Fireteam Elite, a game that created an extra pillar for the community of this channel. I love you all people, appreciate your presence here, but as you can probably understand, we're past bidding on the dead horse at this point. We, the consumers of the product, have been caring more about what happens to it than the people who made it. At this point, it's turned into a meme, it's kinda ridiculous, and it would be a really good idea to start looking forward for other things to enjoy. If you're a hardcore Aliens fan and cannot play anything that is not in the Aliens universe, I'm very sad to hear it, but I don't think me or anyone can do anything about it. But I believe deep down that what you got out of that experience was the fact that you were playing with your friends, enjoying a game that you all loved playing. And if this kind of thing, a third-person horde shooter with satisfying gunplay and the ability to share the experience with others, what you've been looking for, I think Helldivers 2 will be able to scratch the itch. Hope to see you all tonight. It's been FiOth reporting to the AFTE and Helldivers 2 crowd. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!